All right, what's up? Sunday morning, about to go hit my run, and yeah, I hear my dog barking in the background. So it's a beautiful day outside. When I say beautiful, I mean windy and dark and cold. Let me show you. There you go. Yeah, so at some point I should experience some headwinds. I should experience some tailwinds. It ought to be a great opportunity. But I do want to share something that I have here. Squirrel's nut butter. So if you have chafing, so a good tip is to get some sort of a chafing cream. I like Squirrel's nut butter. It was recommended on another YouTube video that I was watching, and I thought I'd give it a shot. It works really, really well. Just kind of hit some of the chafing spots, and it's smooth, literally like nut butter. So, and it even smells like nut butter because one of the ingredients in here is a seed butter of some sort. So, check it out. I'm not sponsored by any stretch. Just want to help you guys out. All right, that's your tip of the day. If you have some chafing, maybe underneath the armpits, maybe around the nipple area, maybe around your special parts, hook it up with some Squirrel's nut butter. Your body will thank you. I just got through a heavy wind. I just had to put my head down and push through it. I guess it was a little bit rough, that's for sure. Pace slowed down, and that's okay. That's got to be part of the process. You can't keep pace all the time in every kind of weather condition. If I've got 30-mile-per-hour winds in my face, I'm not keeping 9.5 minute per mile pace. It's just not going to happen. At least not without my heart rate going through the roof. Starting to come down. First end of my run, like last time. I got the wind in my back this time. It's been a little bit of an easier push than on that first half. What goes up must come down. What's difficult at some point becomes easier. There's always a yin and a yang. There's always some balance. Work through the hard parts. Get yourself to where you can turn that corner and find the easy parts. It's not always going to be difficult. At some point, it gets a little bit easier. All right, morning run done. I think it's still morning. And I had some thoughts as I was on my run. Number one, your goals and your responsibilities towards those goals don't change just because of circumstances, because of feelings, because of emotions. Your emotions cannot dictate your actions. If you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you have inconsistency. And there's nothing good that comes from inconsistency. Goals are not met through inconsistency. You have to be consistent. You got to figure out a way. You don't want to go run in the rain. Go find a treadmill. But you got to still stick to your training plan if you're trying to hit a marathon best. That was one of my thoughts. The other thought is this: sometimes it's really easy for us to lie to ourselves, right? We'll tell ourselves, this is the reason why I'm not going to go on my run. This is why I'm not going to eat healthy. This is why I'm not going to track my food. And a lot of times it's a bunch of lies and BS. And so this is something that I shared with Mason, my son, for those that don't know. There was one night that he was supposed to do the dishes. He had plenty of time to do the dishes, but he chose not to do the dishes, even though his mom had told him that she wanted the dishes done before she got home as one of his chores. And normally it would be a lecture, frustration. But this time I decided to tackle a little bit different. Instead, what I told himself was that he needed to look his mom in the eyes and tell her that his video games were way more important than his mother's wishes. That it wasn't because he didn't have enough time, but because he cared more about playing video games than he did for her. He didn't want to say it, obviously. It was a very tense moment. His tears welled up in his eyes because he didn't feel that way, but his actions stated otherwise. When it comes to something like health and fitness, it's so easy for us to lie to ourselves. Instead, what we need to do is be honest with ourselves. It doesn't make us good or bad, but it's being honest. It's the truth, and the truth matters. And so at some point, if you're not going to track your food, if you're not going to stick on your nutrition plan, if you're not going to stick on your training plan, you can't just sweep it underneath the rug or make excuses to your coach. What you need to do instead is look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself and be honest with yourself and say it out loud. My health and fitness goals are not more important than my desires. My desire to eat, in my case, I love donuts, my desire to eat donuts. Or my desire to not track my food, my desire to eat a bunch of carbohydrates and fats and to avoid proteins. That honesty is extremely important, because at some point you're either going to accept the fact that that's the life that you're choosing, or number two, you're going to change because you're going to get tired of looking yourself in the mirror and admitting that your health and your fitness is not more important than your feelings and your emotions. That's important. Truth is important. All right. So you have to be consistent. You can't allow your emotions to dictate your actions. And you have to be 100% honest with yourself as to why you may or may not be hitting your goals. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Go out, tackle the day. You still probably have some time. Remember, consistency over perfection. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take all these wet clothes off. Get into something warm and dry and go fold some laundry. Super excited. Have a great one, you guys.